Yes. All right. So everybody, welcome finally to our first virtual. Did I say virtual now? Virtual meetup. Um, I'm Emmanuel Dansu, like you know already, and the whole idea of the Real Boys Forum came up with this idea I had in the university where it looked like all the girls were getting all the attentions. Like even in fellowship, we had fellowship leaders, they had daughters, nobody really cared. Of course, maybe some people had some sons, but nobody really cared about the boys. But the trouble is you have trained all the daughters and then they end up marrying the untrained guys, and then we have problem in society. So that has been a burning passion. So right from my footer days, right, I had this thing where that guys were taking ladies out. Me, I was taking guys out, like we just hang out and just talk about life, share experiences, share ideas and everything. And that was what led to this idea of Real Boys Forum. Thankfully, there are also real girls out there, like my wife. She had always had this idea, and then she towards the end of last year, I just used to post randomly, and she was like, I should be more focused. She's a brand strategy, so she was like, okay, why not be more focused? You have a target audience and everything, and since we started this, it's been such a nice experience indeed. So if you need someone to brand you, you have a short plug already. So of course, that would definitely not be free. So yeah, finally, when we started, I started by writing daily articles. As at Friday, we had written 30. And of course, along the line, we felt we should have this kind of meeting like once a month where we talk a bit more about some of these ideas. And that is why we have this first virtual meetup. And from the committee, we finally decided that we'll be coming up with this money issue, because I remember the first issue that was really debated in the group was money issues. All these issues about family people bothering you. Like, in fact, interestingly, just yesterday I was still listening to, maybe I think that the Freeze also was interviewing some Victor Siemens family members. There are some issues there about how money issues basically, and I know these are real issues. So for now, let me see. Yeah, okay, right now we are 10. We are 10. I think can still take time to introduce ourselves, right? Can you just briefly introduce yourself and tell us what your expectation from this event today? I'll start from, of course, our guest. We'll keep him like it should be chilling because he's going to talk a lot. Now, the format of our meetups will be, maybe first 30 minutes or 25 minutes of presentation, depending on the speaker. And then we now have a time of interaction. We ask questions. You can ask your questions, I can ask questions and all that. So the first person on my screen will be my namesake, my co-Japan person, Emmanuel Ikechukwu Awosu. You just tell us your name, your location, and your expectation from this event, or any other remark you may have, like in 1-2 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
I
much.
may
Good
also want
morning
to let us
from.
face if you don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good
Okay.
morning from Japan. Good evening, uh, rest of the world. My name is Emmanuel Ikechukwu Awusu. I'm currently in Japan and I'm carrying out my PhD in applied chemistry. My expectation for this meeting this evening is just to put faces to names, or just to, you know, talk about some of the challenges of being a man in the modern day world, and just go from there and see how we can um, get a foothold on some of these topics and how to apply them specifically in our various lives. So I'm just looking forward to the discussions and hearing different opinions. So it's good to be here. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you so much for buying into this vision. I remember we had a discussion and we seem to have this aligning idea about,
Yeah.
raising men. I mean, it's so cool to have you on board.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
dummy
Thank you
here.
very much.
Oh, okay, yeah, thanks. There's a dummy here. I suspect it's the second dummy, not my class governor in oceanography. And he sent me a message. I think it's not available right now. Yeah, Sunday Timilai is going to be the moderator for the next virtual meetup in March, and he's here. So go ahead and tell us, where are you? What do you expect from here? And what do you think about RBF?
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Sunday Timlani Ayodeji. So, I'm a master's student. So, uh, actually, the group has actually been helping me in a lot of things that has been coming, and I've been picking a lot of lessons which I'm applying because it's not only about picking lessons, but applying them. That's the most important thing. And I've been getting a very positive or results from the application, and today I'm also as usual. So I'm here to leverage all the wisdoms that is going to be dished out. So
Yeah.
that thank you, sir.
Yeah. When people see money issues, maybe they may think we are going to talk about some investment, or of course we'll talk about investment, but it's not like we have an investment platform that we are selling or we are sharing money. No, we just want to share ideas together. And when we are talking about it, it's not like we have all the money in the world already. No, we are just here to share ideas, and that's really cool. Interestingly, somebody's husband came to thank me today. Like, when I did the write up on to PhD or not, right? The wife had been willing to do PhD all this while, and then that that thing just fired her up, and her mission is up again. So the thing is even blessing women out there, right? Those the primary focus is for young men. So David Bono, one of my guys, our futa guys here. David,
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon to you.
So, my name is Bonu David, a final year student of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, from the Department of Mathematical Science.
Everything.
So, I'm here to continue the learning.
All right.
So, I've really learned a lot from the articles on the group. So, I'm here to continue the learning.
Thank you. Oladeji. If you can show us your face, we don't mind. We are not allergic to your face. I mean, that's for that's for whoever. Then if you can also put your full name so that there are many Damilola, so I need to know which is which. Okay, so the next person will be Olunyofe Bolade, another mathematician. Yeah. Olunyofe Bolade, are you available? Or if not, Jesse, can we go to Jesse? That's my mentor. I don't say
Hello, sir.
yes.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry,
Evening.
my name is Jesse.
Good evening,
That's
everyone.
my mentor. My mentor calling me his mentor. It's not acceptable, please. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
So,
there's a who okay, please go ahead. I think it's fine.
okay, yeah. So, Jesse. I work with PCS. I give a risk consulting service also to Bida, is a financial startup. Yeah, my
So
purpose
you're a
for
money
coming to
person, sha, like that. Money making.
like I mean I just like money. I like being surrounded about talks around money.
Cool.
And yeah, this group has been a blessing to me, I won't lie. And I know I've sent invites to a lot of people. Some of them said they've not been able to get link to join the meeting. Hope it's not a problem if I share my link to them.
Yeah, you can share, please. You can share because I still checked a couple of hours ago to make sure. I'm making this thing not an open thing so that I want only serious people to be part. I could just share the social media as well. But
Okay,
I mean that's intentional. I want only serious minded people to be here, basically.
oh, okay, thank you. So yeah,
So,
it's
but
been
yeah,
a blessing.
so if you are here and you have friends who want to join and they don't have access, please share your link with them. But they shouldn't share it
Okay.
on social media or something because you also don't want
Oh,
intruders that will come and But I've had a meeting before where somebody came, my book launch, somebody came and was messing the whole thing up.
okay, okay, all
Yeah.
right, no problem. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Thank
my
you.
mentor.
All
Thank
right.
you for
There's a
all right.
Josh.
Thank
I have many Joshes. I have a CEO Josh. I have a friend Josh. I have a student Josh. Which one? Josh? Hello, Josh. Okay, Josh probably is not available now. Yes, I have Beyond Dansu. Yeah, he can easily pass for my well, I don't know. Vion, just speak for yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been in transit.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, if you
My
can't
name
talk,
is
no
Vinod
problem. We can
Ansu.
always have you later.
Okay. Can I do this like after now?
Yes, sure. Or you can even put it in the chat. So if you cannot talk right now, you can put it in the chat. Not a problem. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Sure. No pressures. Like we are real men. We know the form. Like if you need to cry, cry. They tell you that men don't cry. If not cry, the matter they cry. No wahala. That it's that's part of what why we're here, right? Dada Oluwa Toby. Can we have you? Somebody is laughing about men crying. Interesting. Dada Oluwa Toby, what's up? Okay. Precious Divine. Is that Precious Shitu? Precious?
Yeah, Precious. Precious here. Good
Shitu, right?
afternoon, Doctor. Yeah, she's
The British person. Nice one. Okay, go ahead, please.
Oh, I joined a little bit late, so
Yeah, basically just tell us what you think about RBF, what you're expecting from this event today, where you are and what you do.
okay. Yeah, once again I'm Precious Shitu. I'm currently doing my master's, and so I'm curious about how to invest, like better ways to invest without risk, high risk in particular, because I've done quite a lot in the past and it has not really been yielding well. So I just want to know more about it and also to be enlightened generally.
Yeah, you are in safe hands. You have our guest in the house. I'll still tell you about our guest. Then you also have people like Jesse in the house who are money people also. So I mean, apart from the guests, we are also going to interact, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next person will be Asu Sejiro Steven. You just need one more you to become academic staff union of universities. Sejiro, what's up?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, sure. Hello.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Yep.
I'm Ashusejo Stephen by name, a civil engineering undergraduate student here
Yep.
in Nigeria, Abeokuta. It's so great to be here. I will really commend you. Thank you so much for this, sir, because most of the time, like I've been reading the content of the group, and they are basically things that are not so common outside. Like men don't cry to live, men cry deeply inside. Like they're very, very
Yeah.
important for us. So it has really, really been nice for me. And almost every day or days I miss it, I'll try as much as possible to read all through. And it has really been helpful. And I had to join for today because basically I have not been keeping up with my like finance. I really want to know more about it, like maybe daily expenses and likes and all of that, just for growth. So thank you so much for always sharing, sir.
My pleasure. Baz, is this the Baz I know? Or some other Baz? My runaway, you might pick away the other. No,
I beg, fish, I did it. It's still the same bars.
okay, see the voice. The voice they sound like
It's,
bad.
it's
Base
still the
bad.
same bars. I thought I didn't know I wasn't you.
Yeah. So
Like,
what's up?
good day, sir.
Good day.
Okay. How you doing, sir?
Very
Because
good.
let me see if, man, I'm not in a good environment, but I've shown my face.
Yeah, not a problem.
Uh,
It's okay.
all right. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I should do introduction or I should
Your
just
introduction and your
skip
expectation,
me.
briefly, 1 minute. You don't spend 45 seconds already, so you have 15 seconds. Thank you.
All right. My name is not really Baz. Good afternoon, house or good day, house. My name is not really Baz. My name is alias Baz actually. Ayodele. My name is Ayodele Badini Samuel.
Yeah.
BS, then AS made Baz. Then I am a I own a company. That's a GMF exporter. We deal with mineral resources, agriculture, and
Yeah.
commodities majorly. Then my expectations here majorly is just to learn about finance, how to deal with finance majorly. I've been seeing these things around my friends' status and just the marketing side of this talk.
Mhm.
So I want to learn a bit more from my fellow Ogasa and the house too as well. Thank you.
Yeah, gratefully the our guest today is a he has been there, done that when it comes to marketing and all that, when it comes to sales. So I think you're in in a good company. Maybe your experience as a startup owner is also going to be helpful along the line. Yeah, we go for my mathematician again, Oluyan Febola Dale. Do you want to tell us something? Okay, if he's not available, I go to Ekuri Felix. I think Ekuri has been doing a lot of work. I'm not sure. Okay, like I've seen him sharing RBF stuff everywhere and everything. I'm so inspired. Ekuri, do you want to tell us something?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not a problem. So if you cannot speak, you can also send something in the chat. Even Oluyofe, we've been trying to get him. If you're not able to speak, feel free to write something in the chat also, and we'll look at that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes. There's ITEL A662LM. I don't know. Are we in safe hands? Is it large language model? or who? ITEL A662. Who's that? Tell us about you. Okay. People just they laugh, and yeah, this is the environment we want, right? There's this funny thing too that men are always serious, like always strong in face in quotes. So yeah, the dummy we had is the dummy we have, right? I think he's not able to speak. Is Damiloji or something? Is a data analyst currently serving in Lagos, NYSC. This is his first time joining, but his expectation from this meeting is to know how to make the best use of this new is service here. Wow, that's cool. So money goes for service here. I think that'll be a very good topic to talk about. So in case it's not covered in the talk, you can always ask about it. Yeah, Beyond and Sue, we share the same surname, and people always ask me if people believe we are from the same parents, and sometimes I just say yes because I'm tired of talking about whatever. So, but I mean, who will not be proud of an engineering and computing education final year PhD student at the Florida International University, Miami? So, I mean, we are family, we are Dansu, and that's how we do it. Okay. Yes. Of course, our speaker can talk about himself, but before he talks about himself, let me talk about him first. Interestingly, he was my senior in secondary school. I remember, I got into BGS 1995. He was there 1994, with another very dear mentor, Wusu Godunyo. I remember, I mean, looking at them was so inspiring back in the days in Badagry Grammar School. And, when we started this and the first call went out and he joined, I was like, wow, people are really, when I saw people like Emmanuel Awusu and him joining, and even Mayokun Adekola, I don't think Mayokun is there right now. So when I saw people like them join, I was really happy that wow, so these people really understand the need for men to be proper. So I'm going to read his bio. Pastor Samuel Sewedo is a mentorship expert and life/leadership coach, marriage counselor, and a well-seasoned. Let me mute this person.
I'm on.
Okay, so and a well-seasoned. Okay, let me take it again. Samuel Sewedo is a mentorship expert, life/leadership coach, marriage counselor, and a well-seasoned Bible teacher. He holds MSc degree in agricultural economics from the prestigious University of Ilorin, Nigeria. A passionate lover of excellence who won't settle for less, was one time best graduating student faculty of agriculture, University of Ilorin. His passion is to see that youths and young adults alike get it right and excel in all facets of life. He currently works as a sales manager with the telco giant Glow Mobile Nigeria. He's happily married to his bosom friend and lover, Bukola. The marriage of 13 years is blessed with glorious children. So every sentence I read, I was tempted to make a statement about it, but it's okay. There'll be time to talk about all of these things. Yeah. So I mean, I want to yield the floor to our guest for today, Samuel. Samuel, you want to give your e-clap or your emojis in the chat to welcome him on board, and enjoy a nice time listening to him. And of course, get your questions ready. Nice to have you. Welcome here, sir.
Thank you, Prof.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
so glad to be here this evening.
So glad to have you.
Yes, it's my pleasure
Sir.
joining great men this evening. Hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, sure. I think.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Nice, good.
All right. So I'm so glad to be here. It's a great pleasure being here, interacting with men, of course, from the Real Boys Forum, and of course, having the privilege to be the first guest, the first speaker on the virtual meetup of the Real Boys Forum. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. And I welcome all men on board. Hello?
I said it's our pleasure. Sorry for the interruption.
All right. So, is it time for me to go on, sir?
Yes, please. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, good day once again. Wherever you are, it may be morning, it may be evening, it may be night. Of course, it's a global family here. Somebody says it's not a village. It's now a global family, because whatever you do at a place, almost immediately is known everywhere else. So I want to appreciate every one of us for joining this evening. The theme once again is money wisdom for young men. Money wisdom for young men. And I start with what is money? Because we must talk about money. What is money? I have a definition here that money is a generally accepted means of exchange and measure of value, whether it is cash or cash plus bank deposit. Everything put together make up money. So it's a generally accepted means of exchange and measure of value. So we have money, of course, all around us today in different currencies, all around the world. And let me go to wisdom. So what is wisdom? Is the ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. The ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. So, when we talk about knowledge, of course, from the root word to know now, knowing. So, of course, it is what you know that you apply. So, and applying it correctly will be wisdom. So, I said again, that is the ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. That is wisdom. Now, before I go to money wisdom, putting the two together now, let's take some basic facts about money. Now, some basic facts about money. One, you need money. Money is needed to meet daily needs. As I put it here, basic needs, you need money, basic needs, food, shelter, clothing, and, and basic education. When you hear about basic needs today, some people you only talk about food, shelter, clothing. No. After those three, we should add basic education to it, because one thing with education is that without education, you can't connect with your world. You have opportunities around you. It's like you are in light, but you are personally in darkness. When you have light all around you, that is how it looks like when you don't have education. So nobody hates money after all. So you hate money to your own peril. The only reason why we reject some money, or why we won't like some money in quote, is because based on the source. Not because we hate money outrightly, but somebody stole some money now. Say, no, this one is stolen. I don't want that money. Not because you don't really want the money or you don't need money, but because of the source. So I said, one, basic facts about money. One, money is needed to meet daily needs. Two, Money is not emotional. Money is not emotional. Now, what that means is that it doesn't move in the direction of your feelings. When somebody is jumping up and down or crying around and say, money, you know how much I need you, you know how much I love you, money, if only you can be mine. No, money doesn't go to people because based on emotions that they feel they need money or they are crying, they want money. So money is not emotional. We need to, especially this side of the world in Africa, money is not emotional. People need to know that one everywhere. And then number 3 that I put here, I said money is a vector quantity. Sorry, we may need to explain that one better to people that are not science students, that don't have science, that are not science biased now. You know, by vector quantity, in physics, we use the term vector quantity. And they say a vector quantity has got both direction and magnitude. By magnitude, we mean it has a value and there is a direction. Now, I said money is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. Money flows in the direction of solution. And by solution, I mean perceived value. In the direction of solution and multiplication. So, the direction of money, when you create a solution, you have money most times. So, perceived value and then multiplication. Of course, when money comes in, when money is multiplied, money continues to flow. All right. Now, on this premise, on the premise of money wisdom, I'll just be discussing within the time given. I want to discuss, when it comes to money wisdom now, I want to discuss it under 3 subheadings or 3 points. How to attract money. We've talked about money. That money is needed to meet, that money is generally a certain means of exchange. And I said wisdom is the ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. Now, money wisdom now, we'll be talking about how to correctly make use of money such that money is always there and we don't lack it, and we always have it for what is needed for at every point in time. All right. So I'll be discussing how to attract money. That's 1. I hope you are with me. How to attract money. 2, how to retain money. And 3, how to multiply money. So how to attract money, how to retain money, and how to multiply money. As a real men, on the Real Boys Forum now, we need to know those 3 so that at every point in time, money is not an issue. At the time on the forum, I said one thing. I said in the home, if there is money, your wife may actually say that probably we are not giving her attention, but if there is no money at all, there may be tension. So, sorry, I had to say that one again. So now, how to attract money? How to attract money? Now, how do we attract money? I think it's also part of the questions that Prof. Talking about how to attract money. Somebody asking that question. How do you attract money? Now, let's go along now. 1, you attract money. You provide solution. I've established before that money is not emotional. Now, let's make it practical now. Myself and my wife, we have a business outfit. And of course, we are into food commodity business. Now, people need to eat. Except you are fasting. And even if you are fasting at the time, you will need to break. Now, to provide for that need, we make food available. Get food commodities. Whether it is rice, it is beans, it's noodles, it's pasta, is just mention it. Now, people are willing to pay. As a matter of fact, we that know a little about economics, There's what we call autonomous consumption in the theory of consumption. It's that one doesn't depend on your disposable income. Whether you get salary or not, you must feed. So now, I said how to attract money. You meet needs, you provide solution. Part of the reason why somebody is employed today in the company and paid salary as a commission agent, paid some money as commission, is because they are providing solution. So to attract money, you provide solution. You invest in yourself. I add that one to it. You invest in yourself. Hello. All right. So you invest in yourself. You invest in yourself. Now, when you invest in yourself, definitely what you are trying to do is that you want to be a solution. You actually want to be a solution to a problem somewhere. That's the reason why you are investing in yourself. In one of the quotes of I think I saw a quote in the Think Big, the book of the renowned pediatric neurosurgeon Ben Carson. He said, knowledge is the key that unlocks all doors. That you may be green-skinned with yellow polka dots, and you may come from Mars, not even from Earth. But when you have the knowledge, when you have the need, when you have the solution that people need, instead of beating you, they beat a path to your door. So, and that is talking about attracting solution. So, be connected to environment. There is a common saying that if you spend all your time chasing butterfly, you may not be able to catch it. But when you make a beautiful garden, butterflies will come on their own. And that is the way it is. So we invest in ourselves to actually be a solution. I also put something here that your network also determines, is part of you attracting money now. Your network is your net worth. You network. People, you have a solution, but people don't know about it. If they don't know about it, there is no way they will actually, introduce others to it. So some of the time, if you wink in the dark, like somebody puts it, when you wink in the dark, nobody sees you. You have to come to the light. So people need to know what you are doing. You will not be somewhere and somebody will talk about what you are doing. All right. So I said, some of the time you may first need to do it free before you do it for a fee. I think it's also something I've put on the boys forum before, on the real boys forum rather, that you may first need. There are some of, like, say for instance, you want to be a solution by being a teacher now. People who have educational needs around, students and the rest of them. Now, part of the way to actually sell that one is, okay, I organize a free coaching. Bring your students, bring your pupils, bring your wards. We have a free coaching center. Is what I've done before. Come, bring them here. Let's teach them. And people get there and say, oh, these people have value to offer. The solution to the problem, I had mathematics for free. By the time you will say, come, let's teach you mathematics, you'll be getting a token from you. They said, no. I will attend the coaching center of that person because the person offers value. I can trust the delivery of that person. In that case, you have actually first done it for free. That's volunteering. Now you've done it for free. Now for people to pay a fee for it, because they know the value they want to pay, you attract money that way. All right, I'll do it. I've done it a little while on that one. Let me go to 2. How to retain money. How do you retain money? To attract money, well, you can attract money, but retaining it is where the discipline is, where the wisdom comes in now. Now, you retain money by investing it. Now, that will come to, for young men now, people that are not married, people that are married alike, when you invest the money, and that will be talking about what we consume our money on. I see young men today, young men will come and then, you get money. And then the next thing is You actually want to go and get an expensive car to tell people that you have arrived. And then, instead of getting an asset, and then you get a liability and all your money goes into that one, and you are not doing something to actually retain that money, and you have a car now that you can't even maintain. That's a problem. So we should know about investing, that is retaining money now. Retaining money. And retaining money will also mean multiplying it, though I will still go to how to multiply money, but it will also mean multiplying it. You must look for a way of multiplying it. What you call riches today, you say Dangote is a rich man, $10 is rich, is a billionaire. Now, riches is a flow. Riches is a flow, it's not a static. It's a flow. Now, what that one means is that when you say a man is a rich man today and he remains is a rich man tomorrow, what that one simply means is that he's actually putting money back for him to get more. And that is why he's not an ex-champion, he's not a rich man of yesterday. He's putting something, he's putting money back so that at every point in time, there is a flow, the business keeps going on. And that is just it. So you should, how to retain money, I say riches is a flow, it's not a static, you have to invest it back. Now, it will also means that you have to first do things at your level. Let me talk to young men now. So people believe that part of the way of retaining money now is you send your children, I'm talking to young families now, you send your children to very expensive schools where you have children of politicians. And by so doing, you mingle with them and then you're able to attract them, you connect, yes, networking. But can I tell you, and shock you today, that you have to do things at your level. Honestly, the rich people know themselves. And if you say you want to, at the time, I wrote somewhere, I think I put it on Facebook and some, WhatsApp and, some social media platforms. I said, you don't need to force yourself into any social, you don't need to force yourself into any social group, or how do I put it now? To force yourself into a social level. I want to remember I put it. That when your own time comes, your own space will be created. There is no way to force yourself into any, Now, what that one simply means is if you want to mingle with people that are rich now, you want to send your children to a school that when your students need, when your pupils, when your wards need to resume to school, you have high BP. No, 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 no. You won't need that one. I think I stumbled on a video sometime last year from Bishop Oyedepo, and he was talking about Bishop David Oyedepo, and he was talking about doing things at your level. And he said when he was in Kaduna, that there was a school very close to his house, so very expensive. But he said he won't pray about sending his children to school, that you will go to school at my level. Now, what that all means is we are not just talking about basic education. Those of us that are here today, thank God for our convener, Dr. Dancy Emmanuel. If you have to hear the story of some of us, myself, himself, the primary school that we went to start with, maybe if you have to look at those primary schools and look at dots together, but truly that was where we actually started from. But well, we started from there, but today, by God's grace, we don't look like what we have actually passed through. So you can always become better, and then just like what I said, do things at your level. Do things at your level. Invest in assets, not liabilities. Cut cost. And now, before I leave, before I leave that place, I will also be talking about the issue of young men preparing for marriage, for wedding. Yes, wedding. And then you want to spend all your fortune on preparing for marriage, and you want to spend all your fortune on wedding. Please And please, the money that you need for investment, don't put it on everything on wedding. Like a prof actually put it on the platform. I think that's sometime last week that you want to do wedding that is larinous. To larin. Sorry, apologies to those that don't understand Yoruba language. So, and then I have a colleague in a colleague in the office now, and he said if he had known what he knew now, that the whole money that he spent on his wedding, he would have spent it on investment. Because he spent so much to actually impress people and say the whole heaven and earth will know that somebody actually wedded. See, all those ones will not count. After all being said and done, people will only eat and go and say, "Oh, it was a great wedding," but the cost is actually on you. So please, let's how to retain money. Put money on investment. That money that you think is so small, it may interest you to know that it's not that small. By God's grace, I first bought a land when I started working in 2000, sometime in 2009, and then it was meager and okay, and then with time, I look at it that with time I had to buy another land again, and with time, little by little, the money that in 2014, in the place where I'm actually currently staying in the city of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, I got a land. And in 2014, I put foundation that, okay, I want to build a house. And little by little, you would think that money is actually so small. And little by little, I was, okay, building it. At the same time, sending children in school, raising children, this one and that one. By God's grace, in 2020, I moved into the house. And then, with the condition of Nigeria, situation of Nigeria today, I'm not paying any rent to anybody. And then, not only that one alone, moving to that place opened my eyes to that now in our own place, we could actually invest. And there and then, we found the problem that, okay, people are actually here, groceries, stores, and then many of them are actually retailers. I said, what about somebody being the wholesaler here? And instead of the people moving out, traveling long to go and get their goods, they just get it from a wholesaler here, and then people and
Hello, you're muted, sir. Hello. Hello, you're muted. Hello, Mr. Sao, you're muted. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, network issues. Okay, well, I mean, he said some things already. Before we get him back, um, does anybody have something to say about the things he has said so far? Let's make the most of our time, right? And, who has any questions so far? Yeah, in the list, right? We already had questions. You want answered. Hello.
yeah, hello, sorry, I
Oh,
had
okay.
a call. I'm very sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
It was the call that cut the flow. I'm very, very
Oh,
sorry. So, sorry, please. Sorry, please. It was a call from my boss, please. So you are with me? I'm very sorry for that.
Sure.
So, all right. So I said we are now the wholesaler for the people, and then honestly, it has been wonderful that people come around, and in fact, it was a good problem actually came up. That before you even wake up in bed, you have people that are on your door, and by your gate rather, that actually want to purchase one thing. I want, and so how to retain money, you know. Now, lastly, let me talk about how to multiply money. How to multiply money? You build a brand, you know. You build a brand, and then just like what I said before, you invest and reinvest your money, and then of course you diversify. I think I want to talk about that one. Diversification. That diversification spread your risk. Thank God I've heard about somebody that is into you know risk management and the likes before. Now diversification will I know of a person in the city where I am here residing actually started with not even telecoms. The person was first into, what you call business center in Nigeria, where they, you know, make photocopies for people, lamination, run all those kinds of business. And from there, the person went into telecoms. From telecoms, the person hit it great, big. From telecoms, the person went into real estate. From real estate, and not only real estate, the person now own hotels, some of the biggest hotels in the city of Ilorin here, some in Abuja and the rest of them. Now, I was not asking the question why, but I said that the person is actually diversifying, spreading the risk that if anything happens to this line of business today, the other line of business tomorrow, the other line will actually make up for it, and it will not be the shock. The person will not feel the shock like if it is just one line of business, like we usually put it that don't put your eggs rather in one basket. So I said build a brand, diversify. Another thing I want to talk about is you need integrity. One of the things I've discovered today, being in the business line, sales and marketing line, is that when you have integrity, you 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 get products. You operate with zero capital. Do you know what that means? People will give you things on credit because you have the channel, they have the product. Now you have the channel, they have the product, and they are looking for a way to get their product out. Now it's all right, pay this thing in 2 weeks time, you pay up. Now you only be able to get that chance another time if you are a person of integrity. People have lost so many opportunities today because of lack of integrity. And I tell you that people are attracting, like my business, our business that I'm talking about. So many people, even at the time, people will say, come and get this thing from us. We also need you to actually help us pull this, help us sell this. And because you have integrity, we have heard of you from another person, you multiply money. And that is also, and with that one, what is so sweet, like operating with zero capital, that is not your money, you are making profit, but what you are investing is like zero capital that you are investing in it, and you are making money. You are making your profit and giving them back their money. There is nothing as sweet as that. So that is how to multiply money. And then, of course, just like what I said, as I'm concluding now, I'm concluding already that of course, thank God for the spirituals that we get. At least we get those once a week on the Reboys Forum. Of course, you don't take God out of the picture because you actually need God for things to actually work out. And with God on your side, honestly, money will not be an issue. Money will not be an issue because your wealth, your prosperity is not anti-God in any way. And don't always forget to also give God his own part. And like myself being a Christian, of course, we don't forget to give God our tithes and give God our offerings. That God, please keep on blessing the work of my hands, because it is what you do that God will bless. If you do nothing, 1 million multiplied by 0 is 0. But 1 million multiplied by 1, that one can really make a whole lot of difference. So let me actually take a pause here while I open the floor, and of course, while I actually, of course, give it back to our convener, the organizer, to actually continue from where I stopped. Thank you, sir. And thank you, the whole house, for this opportunity. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much. That was serious. That was really serious. I mean, from everything you've said, I can identify like four types of capital. I'll give them my own names. Maybe some are conventional. I mean, do you want to give a clap, like some clap or whatever clap? Just feel free, and I appreciate him. Of course, he's standing by for our questions. And if you have questions, we want to start also raising your hand before I finish up. I mean, my little summary. I mean, that was looks very simple, but if you can really pay attention to that, of course, you have nothing to worry about. So I mean, so from all the things they have said, I can identify like four types of capital, right? The first one I like to call that personality capital. The second one I like to call it social capital. Of course, that's a topic I've been talking about for some 4 years now. Then I see of course financial capital, the normal money capital, and then finally the divine capital. So personality capital is your integrity. So with personality capital, you don't need financial capital to get some things done, right? That's really very profound. So have with your integrity in place, I mean, you have a lot of leverage, and people downplay that. They think just have money and then they don't care about integrity. With time, your lack of integrity will destroy your financial capital. That's very important. So of course, the next thing will be your social capital. That's where the whole net worth thing comes in. So of course, just like we keep saying, your network, your net worth is determined by your network, right? But of course, you're not interacting with people because you're not interacting with people because you want to get something from them. No, you're just friends with them, and anything that flows from that automatically comes to you. So that's about the social capital thing. The third part, of course, will be the financial capital, right? Of course, we've learned how to attract money. To attract money, you have to solve a problem, right? And how does that happen? You can provide a service. One service I've always provided right from maybe secondary school is teaching mathematics. I've paid, I had to pay my own school fees, teaching maths and doing all of that. So, I mean, provide a service, sell something, or, okay, well, before you sell something, some people are talented, they can manufacture stuff, you can create something, you can invent something. Then, of course, after inventing, you should be able to sell it, right? And all that. Then, of course, we've learned how to attract, how to retain, and multiply money. So that's the financial side. And of course, the divine capital, just like the last write-up I did, which was based on spirituality, talking about true prosperity. And you see, how can in Genesis chapter 39, we're told that a slave, not even a servant, somebody who was employed, a slave that was bought in the open market, the Bible says he was prosperous. Why? Because God was with him. So sometimes, of course, you can make money without God. That's a sure thing. But any money you make outside of God is not prosperity. It is a trap at best. So you can if you want to have money and be at peace, go the God way. You can bow to the devil to get money, or you can bow to God. So bowing to the God part is like it's going to look like it's a boring way and it's delaying and everything. But in the long run, God gives the best. He gives everything with peace of mind. And of course, I mean, that's my summary of that. Like personality capital, social capital, financial capital, and of course, divine capital. Thank you. So we have a hand raised, and that is from Baz, our CEO and startup owner. I'm sure he has some questions, and I'm very sure our guest is here to do justice to it. And of course, other people can also contribute answers to questions. Thank you. So go ahead, Baz, please.
Good day, sir. I want to appreciate for this platform. There's a lot of questions that I've had, I think, for weeks or for a couple of weeks, if not months, with regards sales and marketing, business, and likes when it comes to, and as you said you were doing agricultural commodities. So there's something you mentioned, which I think I have some few, can I say, blockers in terms of sales. So so my team, or let's say what I'm actually working on is commodities majorly. So there's mining commodity, there is the energy commodity, and there is the agricultural commodity. Three major commodities have to do with industrial production. So in the agricultural commodities which I'm just trying to enter, you said something with regards no capital or just trust. And one of the issues I face is I'm seeing that I'm facing now currently is some things are quite capital intensive. So I don't know what is the best way to actually start this thing with no capital cost. How do someone go about these things? There's the idea of logistics, the idea of preservation, getting the right clients, getting the right getting the right demands too as well. And the kind of country that we are to, you have to be very careful as well. So how do someone like me, what product is best to even start with? Questions like that. So I don't know if I asked the question properly, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, over to our guest, sir.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, for the question. If I actually got you right, number one, you actually talk about the issue of course, getting capital to actually start with because of the problem of low capital, and then of course, okay, let me pick it from the issue of capital. Well, because of course, the country where we actually find ourselves, let me talk about the issue of capital. That number one thing, to be honest with you, is you will need your equity to start with, honestly. To say that you are to actually secure capital now and say, okay, probably through the banks, microfinance banks, or what have you, those things, the interest rates and the conditions and the rest of them can actually be something that look like tall order at times. And I think another way, because let me tell you practically, part of the ways that we went about the issue of capital is actually joining the cooperative society. You know, it is easier from my experience. It's actually easier to, especially when you join, and that is why, of course, you mentioned one thing that we have to be careful. Now, before you actually join, of course, I didn't just go out and just say, where is this cooperative society? No, that's why we are talking about your network. I know of people that are actually, oh, we run this cooperative society. This is, you can actually have money here and you can get times 3 of it out after you spend 6 months in the cooperative. In some places, they say it's times 2 of it after you spend 6 months. Whatever you have invested here, whatever you have here as your own contribution, you can get times 2 of it. To tell you the truth, it was even one that I actually joined that I can get times 3 of it that I actually used then to roof my house back in 2016. Then at least that may not be business, but at least of course a house is actually an asset. Now, so I'm actually talking about you. Then I think you actually need to network with people in that industry. People in that industry, and then talking about, I have friends that are into agricultural commodity. Ours is just food commodity. You common food commodities that you have around. But with all this agricultural commodity like soybean, going to maize, of course, beans, soybean, and what have you, all those ones, you may need to have the link of those people that are actually into it. Like I have a friend that is into it. Not only a friend, I have friends that are actually into agricultural commodity. So if you may need to link up with one or two of them, I may actually give them their links to actually, if they are my friends that are actually into that. So, and with that one, when you know people that are in the industry that are in it already and they are established and doing well, definitely that will help you out on how to go about things, because we also need knowledge about how to go about it. I think to an extent I think I've answered your question a little, but if you may actually need more, if there is a gray area, please you can actually show me or ask so that I can throw more light based on my own level of knowledge and experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. It looks like oh, there's someone I did not introduce. What were you, the ITEL person, Benga? Were you ITEL something? Hello, Benga.
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I saw you at some point, then later I did not see you when I was doing the introduction. But of course, I mean, we have Benga here. He lives in Manitoba, Canada, and you have an answer to that question in the chat. Do you want to elaborate?
Yes, sir. So there are also investors that are willing to invest in the new and people of integrity business. So you can also um, look into that. But I think there are also conditions that need to be met if you're going to be sourcing for that kind of investment. So there are people who are really interested in genuine business in Nigeria.
Do you have examples of such so he can maybe of course prove his integrity to them?
Well, I can't provide such right now, but I have a group of friends that are maybe willing to invest in companies or any viable business, but it depends on the integrity of the people who are the helm of affair. So yeah.
Okay. All right, maybe we can continue the talk. I mean, by the way, if you're in this group and you like to join the Real Boys Forum, we have robust conversations going on there on all kinds of issues that cannot be otherwise discussed in other places. We talk about all issues affecting young men. So if you're not there, I'm going to share the link along the line. So if you will, if you want to join. Sunday Timilaya and Yodeji, you have your hand up for a question. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. To our speaker, thank you very much. I really appreciate it was very impactful. I have, let me just say one for now, a particular question. You said something about retaining money, right? You said something about investment. So, my question is, like, if you want to actually invest, what are the things you should look out for? Like, so that you don't invest wrongly, because I've done that once. So, what are the things you should look out for if you want to invest? What are the things should be like a red flag to you that this is not promising? So, this is my question.
All right, thank you very much for that question. Well, of course, I actually understand your drift and where you are coming from on this one because somebody said I've known many rich men that have actually lost money in the past, but that he also knew or he also knows many poor people that have never lost money before. So that's talking about risk now. Well, let me start with the issue of some of the investment that some of us have done in the past that for somebody that is knowledgeable now, you may not be going in those kind of you may not be looking at those kind of investments like the issue of shares. I actually bought my first 1,000 units of shares first bank when I was in 300 level in the university then. Some 1,000 units, I think 16,500 naira then. But of course, when you look at the issue of shares, for example, number one, you don't determine what comes in for you. That is one. And number two, of course, is what is given to you at the end of the year, a whole year. I just give you a peanut and just say this is so. Now, the issue of course, for me, issue of buying shares or whatever is out of it. Is out of it now. Now, another thing is the issue of if you invest in, take for instance, something like Forex. Thank God we have people that trade in Forex on the platform. But at the time, I've also got involved in Forex. That part of the thing I say about that one is that if you are not knowledgeable enough, and not even knowledgeable, if you don't have information, some of those things don't only move on the not just the information. If you don't have correct information about the market, you may actually lose a whole lot of money in those kind of now. All those kind of investment that I just talked about now, they are things that are not completely under your control. I think that is the point I'm trying to establish. So they are not, you are just investing money and then you are like passive somehow. And then that one to me carries more risk. Now, whatever you invest in, to make it very, very simple and not theoretical now, you must first look at your environment. I think whatever you are investing in, apart from the fact that you may not be, we must also look at how fast do you get your return on investment, so that you don't put your money there and then, of course, you are looking at what you have invested in and you are waiting for long. It's when you have so much money that you'll be looking at something like real estate, that you have to buy lands for keep, get the CFO and secure the land, and then of course you are waiting for future to actually sell it. That one is for the very big boys. You have the money and then you can choose to put that one on ground now while you have some other money that is running. So in summary, all I'm saying is whatever you will invest in, look around. We have businesses that are like, we as a food commodity business, that's what we are doing. Some other people that I know, they're in the telecoms business. Some other people that I know, they are into services. Of course, some other people that I know, they sell some other commodities. All I'm just saying is, before you invest, look around and see that you want to meet a need. And then if it is a passive investment, please make your due diligence well, so that it won't be one like that you will lose your money because you are not really in control of what the outcome may be. Let me rest it there for now. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much. That's really helpful. Can I call on Jesse? Are you still here? Do you want to tell us about investments? Since you are into that, I mean, I've had my fair share of investment woes and joys, right? Like, I think the first investment I ever remember making was I bought like 1,000 units of shares, so like in back then Intercontinental Bank. And after some years you see things in your mailbox and it's like 2 naira 30 kobo, or some ridiculous amount that you don't even want to bother to but then I mean I've also seen, I've also belonged to investment clubs where at the end of the day it's knowledge and information, right? I also belong to an investment club right now where we really, I remember the last, maybe within 3 months, we made some investments and then made 100% of the money or something like that. But of course, they really, those guys, the ones in charge, really understand. So, in my quest, now, if I may even say it here right now, if you have been investing and you have been losing money, you're on the right track. Ask Dangote or Tedola and everything. It is they've lost. In fact, Tedola lost money to a point that he wanted to commit suicide, but then he found strength to continue, and then he got on it. So if you're losing money already, that's how we rich people do it. I am calling it upon myself because that's the reality by God's grace. So but of course, and that's why you're here, right? And that's why you want to get correct information. So from shares, I discovered on this shares thing, I beg. Then later I stumbled on mutual funds. I remember when I started getting scholarships when I was in FUTA back then, I remember I invested in Discovery Fund, because in that case, it's not like you're doing something like buying shares, right? But you have experts that are making the investment on your behalf, and they invest in diversified portfolios. Well, I've not made. I don't think I've really made so much money from Discovery Fund too, because of course, especially in an economy that is unpredictable like Nigeria. Now from there, I remember doing. I did MMM. For your information, I did MMM, and I made a bit of money from MMM, right? But you see, the lesson. Can you imagine that? So the lesson MMM taught me is that I don't. So from MMM, I just learned, don't invest in something that they don't have a product they are selling, per se. And those are the issues with things like Forex and Bitcoin. Of course, people have made tons of money from those things too, if you understand, maybe. But at the end of the day, the surest thing is when you're investing in something that it's backed up. Maybe, I mean, I'm just talking from my limited knowledge. I know something Jason will do better justice to it. I'm going to allow him speak on investments in particular. Like, can you give us an array of investments like that? Let's hear about it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for this. So before we talk, okay, I want to first start from where you stop, where you're talking about investment, and I think the major thing, okay, because if we go online, we'll see not even online only, like maybe our friends might have been telling us, we'll see diverse kind of investment which we can invest with. We can invest with bank, we can invest in crypto, a lot of things where we can invest in. Some people even invest in like, okay, maybe with the latest rate of like instability of naira to dollar. So I know some people are making a lot of money out of it, and some people are investing in real estate. Some people are investing in properties, and yeah. But I mean, I'll talk from the perspective of a risk analyst or a risk from the risk management perspective. So now I want us to look at, I mean, some certain things that will help us to invest right and properly. So yes, it is good to invest, but I think first thing first, identifying the context of which we want to invest in matters a lot. So that helps. That is simply in layman word. We need to set clear goals for our investment. We need to set clear goals. So really, in terms of okay, the portfolios now, by knowing our goals, it will help us to know okay, which portfolio do we want to invest on? Is it stock you want to invest on? Is it bonds? Is it real estate, and so on? So like you like that's we need to identify the portfolios of which we want to put up our money into. Then again, please, very important, know your risk tolerance. Just understand this. Like assess yourself in a way where okay, if I want to invest, how much am I comfortably ready to put into this? And even despite knowing your risk tolerant as a person, your that's not a complex word. It's just telling yourself that okay, this is the bound. Okay, like in a car now, okay, they will say 0 to 80 is the driving speed. Now, in a place whereby the road is free, you're allowed to do 80 to 120, but never cross 120 to 180. So those are like how you put your risk target. So then, just like we did, I mean, as we've talked and learned from these various speakers, there are a lot of places to investment channels. So before you invest, research. It can be as small as okay, you want to purchase a land. Nobody wants to lose money, but I will tell you, losing money is not. I'll tell the lad like how our prof said. Dollar once said that and I think I've noticed it. Any money you ever lose, think about it. You're bigger than that money. I don't know if anybody can agree to that. If it's 2 million you've ever lost on an invest on any form of investment, like your mentality just changed automatically from that day, and you're bigger than it. And so even if you lose on an investment, you're not a loser. You've learned the lesson that make you bigger than that money, and even make you bigger than that particular phase of life. So, like, please take your time to research what you want to invest on before you invest in it. A lot of lands, a lot of people, I know people want to invest on real estate, but a lot of lands are not genuine. So, you want to, like, okay, it's better to buy a more expensive genuine land than a less one, and of which you end up losing the land and the money at the same and you end up losing two sides. So yes, and when you are, because we have different type of investments, I won't be talking about real estate alone. So on things like stocks and bonds, it's good to stay informed with the marketplace, because really this thing, especially those who trade, economical indications are there, news are there to help you to like know when to like okay push in the money or pull off. So it just give you a kind of, you need to just be aware of the financial landscape and the market. Yeah. So again, another thing in investment, people make emotional decisions. Oh, somebody, yeah, it happens to many of us, especially if you're abroad. Somebody will just call you, there's this land now, come and pay quick, 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 quick. Just because of you're being emotional, you want to keep that relationship, or you want to um you're impulsive at that moment. You go into it, and it might end up spoiling the relationship. But sometimes you just want to pause and say, okay, yes, I want to take my time to think about it. So yeah, so I think among the things I've learned from what the speaker said is stay disciplined, because discipline is very important in any form of investment we're looking at. So you want to be disciplined, especially in your approach. So especially in your approach in investment, be disciplined. And again, just like I thank God for this platform and this knowledge we are gaining. So it's good to have professional advisors around within within, like when you want to invest. It's good to have professionals like, I mean, that it could be a financial advisor, it could be somebody you see as your mentor, it could be just somebody who has seen beyond. I think it will be helpful. So I think I've majorly answered like major critical parts in investment. Then the places you need to invest on, think about bonds, think about stock market, think about real estate, think about even properties. Even now, I've been in this kind of situation whereby somebody was offering to sell a car for let's say 2.1 million as an urgent need. You can just, if you have the money and you're sure that the quality of the car is there, you buy it, and then maybe you're not in the country, then you're planning to sell it like in the next 3 4 months, and maybe a car you bought for 2.1, and in the next 3 months you're selling it for maybe like 2.5, or even it depends on value, or even more. Another thing again, I've seen this happening lately with the present rate of Naira and everything. The value for Naira 3 months ago is no longer it today. So if you having money saved in foreign currency, maybe in dollars or in pounds, depending on where you are, it can be a form of investment too, because at the end of the day, you're just you're just increasing the value of your money. So, for example, let's say you bought um dollars when it was 1,000, and now let's say you bought $1,000 at the rate of 1,000, and now you're selling it at the rate of 1.5. You know what that could be like? It has just fetched you extra 500K in Nigeria. So yeah, I think, so let's look at it generally from the risks. Like you want to like calculate your risks and your profit. So you should be able to balance it that, okay, at the end of the day, the benefit you're getting is worth more than the cost of your risk. All right. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much. I mean, that's an emphasis on risk right there. And talking about risk, right? One lesson I also learned is that one thing that helps me, you see, people, because of, okay, maybe from my experience from MMM and all those, one thing I've learned is that, because you hear that something is bringing plenty money and all those things, you just want to jump into it and all that. I think one lesson I learned from there is that any money I'm investing, I assume that I have thrown it away. So I don't attach my emotions to it. So and the corollary to that would be that if you are not ready to lose it in this area, don't invest in it. Do you understand? Like if you're not, so if I'm putting if I'm putting 2 million naira in something, I assume I've lost the money already. Of course, I am assuming I've lost it, and now I'm not also making the decision stupidly because I've already made my assessment to see that, okay, yeah, this looks good, but worst case scenario, okay, let me just assume I'm throwing money away. At the end of the day, the money ends up not being thrown away, and I get benefits from it. So that dissociates your emotions from it. So because of greed, because some people carry their life investments and life savings and go and invest in something because it's coming because they heard it's very profitable. I mean, that would be a wrong thing to do. Then the second thing is, now from my personal experience too. So some of us underrate social media, say a lot. So the best investment I've ever made, I actually got the information on social media, random social media posts, people I never knew before. But of course, if you are very observant, you can know what is genuine or not. You know, So social media. And the third thing I would like to say about that is still goes down to the personality thing. Now, if people know you, even in the social media space, there are people I don't know before that we do very very serious business together that are very very have great potentials. So because they just see your activities online, they know that this person is someone we can talk to. And then all those people we see they are board of directors, they are partners in businesses and everything. Some of them are just random people that people meet online. I mean, people will just come to you and tell you, oh, we are thinking of this thing. And by the time you do your analysis, you discover that this thing is very cool. So let people know you for something, for integrity and all that, whether online or offline. I think that's one other thing to talk about. I think I'm very sure you have a lot to say about investment, risk taking, and where to invest. And I know you've got your fair share of like MMM like things. So please tell us something.
Well, Prof, I don't have much to say. Just some of the things that you've said already. So the main thing is don't borrow to invest. Invest what you can afford to lose. It's not as if you're going to end up losing it, but you don't go into investment with the aim of winning all time. So there are times you lose in investment. There are times you gain in investment. Just make sure that you're gaining cover up for the losses in some cases. But don't borrow to invest. That's one thing that we should all put in mind. You don't borrow to invest, and invest what you can afford
Well,
to lose. Like
Dangote will not agree with you on don't borrow to invest. I don't know. Maybe there's a level one gets to. I'm borrowing to invest.
Well, yes. Well, I think for Dangote, he has the equity already.
Oh, okay.
So that can cover up for, even if he has to collect the whole country money to invest, they know he has something to show for it.
Right.
But for starters like us, you don't have an equity. So you're still trying to make ends meet on your own. Right. And you're borrowing to invest. So you have to cut your coat according to your cloth now, not even your size, just according to your cloth. So just avoid borrowing to invest. That's for starters. That's a good step to start for me, I would say. And just don't invest what you can afford to lose. Go into investment with the mind of, if the money comes back, fine. If the money doesn't come back, fine. Life goes on, so that you don't end up having unnecessary blood pressure or heart attack when the investment goes sideways.
Thank you very much. So we take Dami. Dami's hand has been up. Yeah, Dami, what's your question?
Okay, yeah. My question. I have two questions, but we've talked about one of them. So the first is about this investment stuff. So while I was in camp, there were all these real estate guys that were, come and buy land, blah blah blah. At first, I didn't answer them because it was someone that came to meet me, and one of the officials there was like, okay, this is the way to go about it. That he has been doing it and stuff like that. And how much was it that we were selling it to common bars? It was like selling at 300,000, and you have to pay instrumentally for the whole 1 year. And I just looked at it compared to the actual price, which was like 400,000 if you're not a common bar. I was like, okay, no problem. Let me purchase two. But the downside to the place was that, you cannot use the land like after 6 or 7 years. And I was like, okay, there's nothing too bad to. This is a risk worth taking since it's just 25,000 every month. So I just did like for two, but I didn't pay completely for the second one. I just like paid a commitment fee. That okay, if I see how the thing goes with the first one, and I have the money, I would put my head inside the second one. But for now, still paying for the first one. And fortunately for me, the price of the land just rose up to like 500 plus. So I'm like, should I get money and do the second one as well, or just stick to the first one and invest money in something else? So that's one. That's first question. Then second question brings me to the area of you offering service to people. For me, I'm a sound guy, a sound engineer, do media and stuff on the side. So, okay. Hello.
Yeah, please
Am I
go on.
audible?
I've
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
muted the person.
All right. So the thing is, as a media person, that we do installations, sound gigs, and everything, most especially with churches. From my discussion with some of my boss, they're like, we don't ever want to work with churches. That churches are being a pain for them. And I begin to look at it. Okay, what is the reason? They say sometimes after they offer their service, for them to get paid their money after the whole service becomes a problem for them. And sometimes that they do things for free for people, but people don't value it. So in that case, what should someone do? Is it just have a contract agreement with them? Because in the process of, like the mentor mentioned, sometimes you need to do some free service to people for you to win their mind and stuff like that. But sometimes when you do stuff like that, people don't appreciate you, they take you for granted. So in cases like that, what should someone do?
So we go back to our guest again. Of course, it's our guest and mentor. So, since it was what you said that you're referring to, maybe you can shed more light on that. Two
Hello.
questions:
All right.
investment like that, and then yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, on the issue of investment, just like what you said, I think you've almost answered the first question yourself because you actually took a risk, got land, and the land has actually appreciated. Actually, of course, it's to your own benefit now. But I think one thing that is crucial in everything you have talked about is the issue of doing due diligence, and then of course asking all the people that other people around that you consider as people of value and people that you consider as your friends that can actually tell you the truth. So so you don't just when you actually need to invest in something, tell well-meaning people around so that they can actually advise you and enlighten you as okay, it's okay, we've done it before, whatever. But when you think that just like I want to eat it all alone. I don't want anybody to know that anything is happening. I put 100,000 naira, I get 500,000 naira or whatever, and then you do everything in the dark. By the time the whole thing will be coming, well, it will just happen to that person. Well, just like he wanted to eat it all alone. Now the problem is coming all alone. So please, due diligence is very, very necessary. And to take no risk at all is risky. Just like we have established, you always need to take risk at a time, when you actually need to invest. But due diligence must come first. Know what you actually want to. Knowledge. Put knowledge first. I put it this way that what you first need in a business is not capital. It is knowledge. When you put the capital before knowledge, you will lose the capital to knowledge. That is termed learning the hard way. All right. So, so please don't learn the hard way. It's knowledge that is the number one thing. It's not then somebody say, "Hey, capital is a problem." What you want to invest in? What do you know about the business? What exactly do you know about it? Before we talk about you putting in your money. Then number two, the issue of doing it for free rather, before you do it for a fee. Well, the issue of churches, just like what you said, the first thing is always before you offer a service at all, uh, if it is something that you are actually going to charge, it is not after you have done it that you now say, this thing has actually costed us this, please, you will need to pay us even if not the whole money. No. From the beginning, you have established what you want, that this is what we do, and this is what it will cost. In my church, we have actually hired sound engineers, and we pay them. This is how much they are getting. We want quality sound. We want to pay for the service. So it's now a different story if you are a member of that congregation. And you have actually established it that okay, you want to do it for them. In that case, you won't be expecting anything. Let me put it this way that in my church, I used to have a keyboardist. He has now finished, finished from University of Illinois and he's gone for service. And then he will play keyboard for free, of course, joyfully. He was the music director and he was doing all those. But as he was doing it, some other people are actually calling, not that he won't be in church for Sunday services, but on some other days, in fact, at the time before he finished, the supervisor just met him that he had a friend in Canada. The son wanted to learn how to play keyboard, and he wanted to do it online. That could the guy actually be of help, and he was to be paid hourly. And the guy was in Nigeria here teaching somebody's son how to play keyboard in Canada, and he was being paid on hourly basis. That's business. But the truth of the matter is that so somebody to tell the supervisor they were not going to the same church. But somebody has told the supervisor, oh, this guy plays keyboard, he does this one and that one, and he was doing it for free somewhere and at a fee at another place. I think that one settles it. So it's everything goes hand in hand, pari passu. So so I think that is clear. Just make your intentions known from the word go. I think before we actually round off the whole thing, I want to drop something to actually just drop some things for conclusion when I have the opportunity again. But for now, I hand over to our convener. Thank you, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. I'm done.
Sorry, I've been speaking. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, I believe Emmanuel also should be able to say some things about these things. I mean, he's a Dangote kind of person, so to speak. Like he's works with Dangote, he sees things going on, that mighty project right there. So I don't know if he has some insights from there or from elsewhere about all these whole money issues, investing and everything. Okay, looks like it's not available. Yeah, I mean, one thing I like to emphasize, like from what our guest has said, is this idea of, for some people like us that are very shy and things like that. When it comes to money, one lesson I learned from my wife is don't be shy about money. Some of us have this very funny background, and then you have the relationship you have with money. You want money, but you will behave like you don't want it. And money, like we've been told already, that money is a vector. It has magnitude and direction. If you behave like you don't want it, it will not come to you. So you have to be active. You have to intentionally speak, call money forth. Like when somebody says, I used to have this issue, and I'm still working on it. When somebody says, please send me your account number, first of all, I'll be looking for excuse not to collect them. Of course, I'm not saying it is every money you should collect, you know. But I mean, just last week, somebody just said, "Oh, thank you very much for all the help you've been giving. Can I have your account number so I can send something?" At first, the normal reaction I would give is, normally, why it's not necessary, blah blah blah. But of course, one thing I do first of all is I check my spirit that this money should I collect it, and then immediately I just got this guy that, oh, you don't want money, Abby. Even if you don't want money, there are people that, I mean, what will I even use the money for? There are people already waiting that I could send the money to. So I got the money. I was the person could not give the money to those people in need directly, but the person felt he needed to give me 20,000 naira, which of course it was going to my Nigerian account, and there was no way I would be able to use that kind of money. But there were people immediately the money entered. I had 2 or 3 people I sent money to immediately. That's part of it now. So all this money stuff we are talking about, what do you need money for? How much can you even spend personally? It is because there are solutions you need to provide. There are problems we need to solve.
Yes.
That's what we're even talking about, having all this money thing, right? So if your relationship, if you're always shy when they start talking about money, stop it. That way you will not attract money. I mean, money will flow in your direction if you attract it. So collect first. If you don't need it, dash someone or go and give it to church or go and give it to pastor. Go and bless somebody with it, even if you don't need the money, right? Of course, just like you've learned from what I've said, also, it's not every money so because I've said it's not that even a Yahoo boy now calls and the person is a Yahoo boy and the person just wants to bless you. The person may be implicating you, so be careful. So it's not every money you collect, but at the same time, you don't have a funny relationship with money. Now, when you know that you are going to work for a church and it's not for free, don't assume that the church will know that they should pay you. No. In fact, as once they say, we need your service to set up this instrument, you know what? If you want to know if they are serious, send them invoice. When you send them invoice, then they will now tell you that I beg you, we thought you were going to do it for us for free. So at least at that point, you now know this money, this one These ones, they don't have money to pay. Okay, let me still go ahead and do it for free. So that way, nobody, most times you may be rendering services and you are hoping that this person will give you money. So I mean, that's you have to be careful. And of course, it's not also every time you offer service or you sell something that you collect money. Some kind of investment, you are sowing into your social capital, or you are sowing into your divine capital, or you are sowing into which other capital did I, or you are making friends. Why do rich people give gifts? Is it because they need gifts or something? Or because they are just, you see a 1-year-old baby's birthday, and you see all the rich men there. They're not going for the baby's birthday. They're just doing friendship. They are cultivating friendship. So it's not every time too that you collect cash. Sometimes you are sowing, you are doing something to invest in other forms of capital that will even bring so much more capital later. I guess I'm talking too much already. So if there are no other questions, we are winding down gradually, but let me look through the questions people sent. Some of them have been already addressed in the talk. So let me look through and throw them to the house again. If Emmanuel also is available, of course, he can, maybe just tell us something about the things we've been saying. Let me see any question I can. Yes, I think this is important. One of the sign. Felix, do you have something to tell us?
Not really. I actually have a question to ask.
Okay, please.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the facilitator. It's really been a wonderful time, and sincerely, it's been so much insight. Now, talking about investment, there is something I really want to understand better, and that is if one is to look at investment, probably the long-term or the short-term investment, what should really be the key factor one should look at if one is to go more for the short-term investment?
Short-term investment. Okay. Who wants to answer? Guests are guests. I mean, the guest is the first to answer. Sorry. I wonder why I was asking that question. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, no. I'm even talking about the guest. Okay, it looks like it's not available right now. Okay, let me go. Let me just take it. Well, for me, short-term investment will be like, oh, you invest today and the money comes out tomorrow or something. Of course, if you are inclined towards buying and selling, right? Maybe that may be one of the easiest ways. For instance, there are some things that people must do, whether they have money or not. I mean, for the first time I heard about it, I've known this concept, but I didn't know it has a name. This idea of autonomous what now? Is it autonomous spending or something like that? So whether you have money or not, you must eat, right? So,
Autonomous consumption.
yeah. Okay, you're back. Please go. Did you hear his question, sir?
Okay, I heard the question.
Yes. Please, do justice to it, sir.
All right. The issue of either to invest short term or long term. I think to put it just in a very simple way, it will depend on your purse. What exactly can you what can you do away with for now? For example, when we are talking about real estate now, you must have money enough that, okay, real estate now. So for somebody that say, I bought a land, I want to sell it in the next 5 years. Definitely, what that person is saying in essence is that money is tied down and you leave it to be appreciated. Because if you have actually put it in bank, of course, if as a matter of fact, on the issue of charges on bank, and with inflation, it messes up your money. But when you put it in land and say, okay, this land is secure, okay, though it's expensive, but I know it's secure, and for future, I'm planning to sell it in the next 5 years. Now, because you have excess money that you want to put somewhere. But if you don't have such, definitely you'll be looking for something that the ROI, the return on investment, will not be coming at a time so long. Probably you are putting it at, okay, in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, in the next 3 months. So definitely, just like what I said now, it depends on what your purse is and what you are willing to actually let go for the period. That is what we actually determine whether you are putting your money investment that will yield returns, in a short time, or the ones that will actually yield returns in a long time. It's all about what you are willing to, what you are willing to put aside for now. That is what will determine it. But if you don't have so much money, you can't go and put all your whole money in land and then there is nothing to invest, there is nothing to eat, or whatever again. Definitely, it won't work. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Yes, like I was going to say, I was going to add to that, right? Like, there's this, it is advised generally, right? Investment, you should have an investment short term, you should have a medium term, and you should have a long term. Long term, real estate for the most part is like long term, of course, maybe it can be medium to long term, depending, because of course, I've had somebody who bought a land for 10 million, of course, how many people have 10 million here? But of course, we are saying these things ahead of the future too. So somebody bought a land for 10 million, and after, I think, was it after 3 or 4 years, he sold the land for 16 million, something like that. So, but of course, before we get to that point, like right now, I was going to talk about autonomous consumption, right? So if you want to, if you are inclined towards selling, right? For me, I'm not, when it comes to selling, like selling, buying and selling face to face like this, if it is not like the price is fixed, you just come and buy, because I don't like to be arguing price with people, for instance. But I mean, for people who are inclined towards buying and selling, one medium term, short term investment you can do is you can invest in things that people must buy. People must buy food. So if you're selling food, people will come and buy. Like if you're frying akara outside, or I mean, if you're frying akara somewhere or something, anything people want to buy. The other one is recharge card. Even with, as far as people still want to have subscription for data, they want to make calls. So that's why even during COVID-19, the MTN still made profits, whereas there was a lot shut down, businesses were suffering. So telecoms were making money. Zoom made so much fortune during COVID because it's a means of communication. So for food, something like food and communication, at least in the Nigerian context, is one big deal. You know something people cannot do without. That at least you can be sure if you start selling bread, most likely people will come and buy bread and want to eat. Oh, I'm just talking generally. So you can think about it in your own context, depending on where you are and things like that. Then, of course, these days, right? So a very easy form of investment will be you have a skill. My wife talks a lot about converting your ideas into money, monetizing your ideas. That's also something. You don't necessarily have to be buying and selling. So, for instance, now, uh, um, I mean, I teach Python, I teach mathematics and all those things. I could just say, okay, I want to answer any of your math questions. I'm just going to have 3 hour session with you. Just pay 1,000 naira. At the end of the day, it's not the big money. If 30 people pay 1,000 naira, that's 30K, and I'll just spend 3 hours and I'm off. Something like that. Probably you have not some knowledge that you can monetize. And these days, if you really want to multiply your money, or you want to multiply your investment or whatever, it's the social media. In fact, there's this funny statement saying that if it is not online, it does not exist. So if you are existing, I don't have a digital footprint, and you're not known, maybe you're only known for sharing funny jokes that don't bring money, or you're just there, talking about Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. People are talking about Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire and they're making money. So find a way of making money out of your online presence. I think that's the bottom line of this thing. Now you're going online. If you must be investing in one of your four capitals. Maybe you are projecting an image of yourself. Of course, you're not lying to people about what you are not, right? So I've said so many things, but one key thing is, if you are bringing ideas now, maybe all you just need your idea plus internet. Maybe you just need to buy data subscription, get good internet, and that's all the investments you need. And you're sharing a particular skill. Imagine somebody uh, uh, teaching keyboard online, making dollar right in Nigeria, or something like that. I also teach home lessons online. That's also. The funny thing is that most of the times when those monies come in, I don't even get to spend the money, right? There are people already waiting that I just send the money to because they have such needs. So I think maybe one day we have to talk about why should you have, because people don't get it. Maybe people just think you have money so you can show off that you have money. But that's one thing. So I like to take maybe 2 or 3 questions. We have about 15 minutes to go. We don't have to spend all the time though. So we've talked about so many things. I think I've also mentioned about monetizing ideas. All of us here, you have a skill that people say, oh, you are very good at this thing. That's a direction you may be looking at. That how can I monetize this idea? How can I make money out of this? And so whatever you're doing, think about the internet. How you can leverage your online presence or the groups you belong to, okay, we didn't talk so much about budgeting today, but I think we've dissected the issue of budgeting in the group a lot. We talked about, once you start working, even the uncle that did not know the school you went to, just yes, you started working somewhere, all of them started sending bills to you. So don't feel bad, set a budget and stick to it. Like, okay, every month I'm going to give only 10% or 5% of my income to charity. So all those kind of uncles, they are charity. So once you spend your 10% or 5% or whatever percent you set aside, once you spend it, they have to wait till next month. And don't feel bad about it. In fact, there are people that have promised, okay, maybe I not promise I'm not even making. Maybe they come and they tell me they need money. I've held people for 1 year before I sent the money to them, because I know, especially if you come, I have cousins. Some of them will come. They say they want to buy phone. I'm like, now phone you want to buy. Of course, if you tell me you want to buy phone because you want to do this and this, I'll bring money. Of course, maybe I'll consider. But I have a cousin that needs school fees. I have another one that needs phone. So I'll give the cousin that needs school fees. I can even borrow money to give that one. But the one that needs phone, I can wait. I can hold it till for 12 months before I send the money. And it is when you're not expecting that you see the money. And people get like, oh, this guy still remember this thing. And that's one thing. Once I make a promise, I don't forget. But there are priorities, right? So budgeting, right? Set a budget and stick to it. Even if heaven and hell is falling, don't worry. They will not die. Because if you die, I remember this El Shaddai talk. If you are not El Shaddai, God is El Shaddai. If you try to be El Shaddai, you just die. So, because if you die meeting people's needs, their life will continue, and if you end up not well, it is still some of them that will still yab you. That with all the things you have done, what have you brought back? Okay, so budgeting. Yes, so I like you to really talk about this, because I think it's a reality, especially in a place like Nigeria, right? How can one attain financial stability in the face of rising inflation? So I think that needs a lot. Yeah, Emmanuel, I'll come to you. Let's guests. Do you want to quickly talk about this, because I mean, this is a real thing in Nigeria right now. How can one attain financial stability in the face of rising inflation?
All right, thank you, sir. To attain financial stability in the face of rising inflation, well, the number one thing that we'll talk about is number one, we have talked about it before. You should not do beyond yourself. Just your basics before you get into the problem. Your needs first before you begin to talk about one.
I don't know if do I have the money, but okay, it's just like this.
Hello?
Yeah,
hello,
so
can I go on?
Felix, could you please mute?
All right.
Yes, please.
So, I said number one thing is it is your basic needs first. That's number one. Your basic needs are met. Please don't do beyond yourself. As well, in the face of rising inflation, money is losing value. And then, the thing I want to talk about is the issue of, thank God that this question came up. One of the craziest thing about salary is that the value of salary increases as prices are increasing. So inflation messes up salary. And that one tells me one thing, that if you are just a salary earner, it is not good for this kind of economy, and it's not good for any economy anyway. You must look way. There must be something. Any excess time that you are having is not for you to just sleep all day and watch television all day and watch season films all day. It is for you to think about what can you actually do that will be able, because the only way to compete with inflation, with rising price, is for you to be producing more something at the current market price. When you go to market now, they will tell you that something that you bought 120 naira last week is 150 naira, and they will be telling you just like Yoruba, what you want to want if you and you don't have another option. But the person that is selling to you will never be at a loss. It will just mark up the price by the virtue of price. So that is one thing that a complete salary earner cannot do, because your company is making profit and your own salary remains the same while prices are rising up, And in economics, we call that one real value. Your nominal value of the money remains the same while the real value is depreciating. So that is why each and every one of us is not enough to be the best employee. It is best employee somewhere. If we look inwards very well, we also make a good entrepreneur on his own.
Wow.
So definitely we must all think about what we can actually do to augment what we can, legit thing that we can do to augment what we are getting, so that in the face of a rising inflation, we can still be stable. And then to some extent, we won't feel the financial pressure as it should be, because we are also up at the market price. Thank you, sir.
Wow, that's serious. Thanks a lot for that. I go straight to Emmanuel Owusu as we are running out of time.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I was a bit busy,
No
but yeah, concerning investment, the current Nigerian economy, I think it's very difficult to think about the type of business to do, considering the volatility of the economy currently. But like you said, with Dangote has he has a lot of friends and he has a lot of equity.
Right.
Like the refinery and the fertilizer. Most most of his investments are done by most politicians and friends. Like the refinery, you get to see most politicians, they come in on weekends to supervise or to see how far their investments is going. So, but for us that are not yet on the Dangote level, it's very difficult to think of a genuine investment you can do that most of these politicians won't influence, like the current CBN policy where you cannot send in dollar through through the Nigerian economy. They have to convert it to naira to give to whoever you're sending the money to. So it's very, very difficult to think of a genuine investment to do currently in Nigeria. But I think the best investment will have to be a business, to think about a business you can do that will bring some form of exchange of money to your own side. So that way you can think of how you can make profit or minimize the rate of your production or the rate of your services you're giving to just to maximize your profit margin. So I think that is currently the best way, because if you're thinking about stocks, it takes time. If you're thinking about bonds, yeah, bonds might be fine, but the return on investment is very, very low. So I think at this point in time is to find the business you can do at your level, at your skill, and just see how you can cut down costs and maximize profit. I think that's the best in this economy for now. I think that's right. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. Okay, we have just 6 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through the questions, and I will just give maybe as much as possible one-liner answers. Any question I feel is necessary that has not been really dealt with. Okay, how can one gain financial freedom when subjected to a very low monthly income as a salary earner? No, do pass yourself. How can I plan my income? Make a budget, percentage of your salary that should go to what, from time to time, depending on your priorities. What investment should I do to increase my income? We've said a lot about that. How to monetize ideas. In fact, from all of these things, in these hard times, right, so to speak, I think it is looking to me like the services you can render, it seem more important than even the investments you can make. Maybe the only investment you just need to make in that regard is be online. Like, can you teach? What can you teach? Can you teach all this tech stuff? I think there's a question where I'm going to answer that. So how can I plan my income, make a budget? I've said that. What investment should I do to increase my income? We have told you all kinds of investments. How to monetize ideas. Okay, there's something you can do. There's something you're very good at. For me, I'm good at mathematics. I'm good at data science. I can teach data science online, and I do that, of course. How can I maintain and multiply finance? We have been told that the principles of personal budgeting. Of course, maybe we can now talk about that more deeply. Maybe you can look at for one of my articles. By the way, I know that you may not have time to read each article. I've written 30 articles since the beginning of the year. So 30 days, 30 articles now. But interestingly, I got this idea that, right by the time it all started, like first week, that at the end of the day, I'm going to compile all the articles into a book. So some of the things that are not even in the original articles, so from other interactions, I get to go back to improve them later. So we are looking towards having 4 series of books for this year, like every quarter, a new book. So watch out. To be on Amazon, you can get soft copies. I don't know about printing in Nigeria yet, but of course, if you have access to Amazon, you can always get it there. So since I know people may not be able to read like that, you can read each article each day because people are really busy. You can get the book and everything is there, or even better, or even expanded, right? Okay. So what else? How to monetize ideas? I've said that. Okay. But personal, how can one attain financial stability in the face of, okay, we've talked about that. What are the key areas to look out for? We've said that. How can someone conquer poverty? Yes, I think I really like this question. How can someone conquer poverty? I think this is a very relevant question for many of us here. At least somebody like me that came from very, we're not poor. We're just like this guy would say. We're not, he said he was not poor, he was poor because they couldn't afford the OR. They were poor because the OR was even beyond him to afford. So for me, the first step in conquering poverty starts from your mindset. You have to abandon a poverty mindset. Now, poverty is it's not just about not having money. Sometimes some people have money and they're still poor in their minds. So maybe there's something I would like to talk about in the future. So I'll go over some of these questions again, and maybe some articles will center around them. So to conquer poverty, start from your mindset and then apply all these other principles we have talked about. Multiple streams of income. If you have a salary job, look for a side job. If you look for something to buy and sell if you can. If you, apart from what you're buying and selling, do you have a skill you can monetize? Do that. You can create online courses these days, or you can. There's this guy that teaches English on the internet. He just creates a PDF course and puts it on seller, and people are buying 1,000. 1,000 looks pretty easy, but if 100 people can buy, that's 100K, and that's just maybe a 1 page or 2 page course. Teaching English is definitely adding value. So how does one attract money? You've been told that already. How to keep a consistent inflow of money and value? Of course, you've heard all of these things. Be a personality that attracts money. I'm interested to learn about handling money and investment. Okay, we talked about those. Sustaining financial strategies. Be consistent. What can I invest into? We've said it. Business you can start as a student so as not to disturb your parents. Thankfully, we have people in the house today that when I know somebody in this group right now, when he got admission, his mother started crying that where are we going to get money? By the time he was in 200 or 300 level, he was already earning roughly 500K every year in scholarships. That's one thing. So getting serious with your academics and be a way of and it's some kind of investment, right? Today he's paying his siblings' school fees in the same school where her mother cried when he was going. Those are things. So, and one other thing is tech skills, tech. Anything you are doing, I don't care what you studied, find a way to incorporate tech into it. If you're a teacher, I told you somebody teaching English on the internet now, bring tech into whatever you are doing and see how it explodes. And there's no course that is useless. So if you're a mathematician, you can easily go into data science. If you're a fine artist, you can go into graphics. What else is there? If you like brain stuff, you can do software engineering. All these skills are there, and there are also skills that do not require so much tech. There's a part of data analysis that does not require so much mathematics. So you can, for students who don't want to disturb people at home, quickly acquire tech skill. I have students in Futa, they came into 100 level and started learning coding like play. By the time they were in final year, they were already earning 3 times what their professors were, what some professors were. They were already earning like some professors were earning. Let me put it that way to be conservative. Where the money did, that's the question. Money deal where it did. So if you attract money to come to you, no matter in recession, that's when some people make money. In COVID-19, that was when some people became millionaires. So there's money. So that's the mindset thing, and that's where it starts from. On this note, I sincerely appreciate our guest speaker, Sal Samuel. Thanks a lot for your time. We are very grateful. We really wish we can pay you for this, but we'll find ways of definitely paying in one way or the other. Can we all give him a big clap? Appreciate it and unmute yourself and thank you. We are very grateful. God bless you so much. Thanks for your mentoring.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah, we are so grateful. Thanks for attending. I'm very sure it's been such a nice time. So if you're not in the RBF group, you may want to, well, if you want to join, right? It's only for boys, right? Boys to men. So I put the chat, the stuff in the chat. You can just click on that and you find yourself in the WhatsApp group. we get to interact a lot there and share so many ideas like that. So till we see again, by next month, watch out for Sunday Timileyin, who'll be moderating. Yeah, next month will be very interesting. We are bringing ladies. I know when we're in a gathering of boys, when one lady comes or two ladies come, everybody's excited. So we are bringing ladies to our next event because our theme is what do women want? We want to bring correct women to tell us what exactly correct women want. Of course, we are not raising you for stupid girls, all those slave queens that don't have sense. No, we are raising you for solid women. So we are bringing such women to tell you what the kind what the kind of man you should be to attract people like them. So watch out. Thank you. See you next time. God bless you. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can continue our conversation in the group. Thanks for being here. I see people want to do after party. How far now? Do you still have any questions after party? If you are still in the room? Yeah.